Welcome back. We're a day late. Doesn't matter, though. May 9th, which was yesterday, was Indigenous Nursing Day, Awareness Day. And joining us today to talk about it, we have Dr. Lisa Burke-Bearskin sitting next to me. She is with the Canadian Indigenous Nursing Association. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Susan. It's great to be here.
Great to have you. And Brittany Katernick, you are a third-year TRU student, completing your third year at the end of June.
I am, yes.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you contacted me this week saying we'd really like to come on and give some exposure to this particular day. And yesterday kicked off Canadian Indigenous, or Canadian Nursing Week. Is that right?
Yeah, Canadian Nursing Association launches a celebration for nurses across Canada, and their theme is walking with you every step of the way, recognizing the work of registered nurses across Canada. And so the Canadian Indigenous Nursing Association is a sister organization to CNA, and so we chose the first day of the week to launch our recognition of Indigenous nurses, particularly recognizing some of the Indigenous healers that are instrumental to developing healthcare system in Canada.
And tell us about some of those nurses.
Amazing nurses across Canada. Right now, there's probably an underestimate about over 9,000 Indigenous nurses in various aspects across acute care, community care, home care, street care, across the country, from north to south, from east to west, across the nation, in every capacity you can think of, from nursing education to treatment to administration and even leadership. Yesterday we had a group of BC nurses on the Parliament grounds launching their coalition of nurses, bringing together the whole group of nursing family from nurse practitioners, registered nurses, LPNs, and registered psych nurses together. So,
would it be fair to say that some of the skill set that Indigenous nurses bring to the table are better used or are most valuable in remote communities in our country?
Well, not just remote communities too, but even in urban settings, especially when you look at the issues of racism and discrimination in our healthcare system. And I think that the Indigenous nurses are able to bridge that gap and establish trust at a greater capacity, just having, you know, lived experience, that understanding of Indigenous rights. Even right now, as we speak, the Government of Canada is launching their statement on the uptake of the United Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People. And so this year, the Canadian Indigenous Nurses Association have launched their platform to also acknowledge and develop all of our programs based on these rights. So this is a very significant day, I think, in the history of Canada, that our federal government is finally acknowledging and making a strong contribution to say whatever we do with Indigenous health, that we need to really honor the rights of Indigenous people across Canada.
Brittany, tell me a little bit about a project that you recently are working on at TRU.
So I had the opportunity to work on a project that was based on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada's calls to action, specifically Call 24, which is a mandate that is set for nursing schools and medical schools in Canada. So the Thompson Rivers University School of Nursing developed this project for Indigenous and non-Indigenous nursing students to work on. And it's important because it's meaningful and it impacted change on the campus around authentic Indigenous engagement and what that meant. And we were able to work in partnership with Aboriginal education. So I think in honor of Indigenous Nursing Day and in Canadian Nursing Week, I would really encourage Indigenous and non-Indigenous students to take up Call 24 and take a look at what your university is doing in response to your education. And also just to all the Indigenous youth out there, I would really encourage you to look into a career in the health field. It's an excellent opportunity to give back to the community.
Fantastic. Very well spoken.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else that you would like to add, Lisa, that we haven't touched on?
I would like to just send a shout out to the nurses that have been working in Fort McMurray. They were the ones that stayed with those patients in the hospital, putting themselves in danger while their homes were burning, and they were committed to those patients, and they ensured that the patient safety. So I think across Canada we really have to recognize that the role of the registered nurse, the role of nurses across the country in terms of enhancing healthcare at every level. And so I just want to, raise my hands up to them and thank them for all of their work, because yeah, they need our prayers right now out there. So
Lisa and Brittany, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Information on the screen as well as the website if you would like more information. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.